Welcome to We Know Marketing, We Promise, the podcast where strategy meets conversation. We're Naoma and Kelsey, two agency owners who live and breathe branding and marketing. We're here to share real stories, smart strategies, and fresh ideas to help you build a brand that actually works. So grab a seat and your favorite drink and let's dive in.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We are doing an impromptu episode about Instagram's updates because we have a social media strategist on board, obviously.
Okay, so the Instagram update that has been more recent within the last week has basically said that Instagram could soon start showing up in search results. Like Google has now opened the doors to search Instagram. So the keywords, content that you're putting out will now be crawled by Google, which impacts your website, your Google Ads, your overall searchability on Google and other platforms. Like AI has been doing this already. This is a pretty big shift because now you're becoming even more discoverable. So that's the big change that they're making. And they said it started yesterday,
Which
July
was
10th.
The July 10th. So, or 11th. So with that being said, what should people do?
So this actually is really big for organic content, which my agency mostly focuses on organic content. So it means that more people could discover your content from your professional account outside of Instagram. And so search engines will automatically be allowed to show all photos and videos on results pages. So you want to be really careful about what you're sharing if you, in my opinion, children, things like that are now going to be even more discoverable on these platforms. But when it comes to a business and you trying to increase revenue, sales, your brand, all of that, this is actually a really good thing. Also, like if you have a professional account, you shouldn't be posting your kids to that anyways. So everything that's on the professional account should be, I mean, if you're putting it out there, anyone can see it anyways, but now it's even more discoverable.
Even if you have
a
a private account, or is this only for public accounts?
only for professional accounts on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that means you've gone in and you said that this is a professional account, not even if it's your personal account that you're running your business off of. So that's a key element.
Yes. But the biggest thing is that it's going to help you get more reach. And so
what are ways people could leverage that?
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. So one of the biggest ways you can leverage it is you can really, really count on Instagram specifically. Like we obviously have all the other platforms, but this one specifically can be a real revenue generating platform for you if it's not already. A lot of people have already found Instagram to be that way, especially selling some type of product online, all of that. But like when you're thinking about even a professional service or whatever kind of business you're running, you have the ability now to show up and reach more people because of what you're posting in the content. So I'm trying to get where I'm going without get where I'm going yet, or getting where I'm going without like going there right now. But the first thing, of course, that came to my mind was just how important strategy is and how that's even more important now that your accounts are going to be crawled by Google, because this is going to impact your SEO for your website. This is overall, like, I mean, we kind of just talk about brand strategy, marketing strategy, all of that messaging is saying something. What is it saying to these bots that are crawling your website? What is it saying to the bots that are crawling your Instagram page? Is that aligning Instagram and your website? Are those things aligning, saying the same story and talking to the same audience? Because if it's not, then they're not going to know where to push your content to. So they're not going to push it to your ideal audience.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like we need to get alignment together, messaging alignment. So making sure that your website and your Instagram profile are talking about the same things.
Yes.
And then that also means that probably your content pillars, like whatever you're putting out on Instagram, is going to have to be way more aligned and succinct.
Yeah, and the consistency piece over a long period of time, that's going to be really important as well, because they're going to continue to crawl your website and platforms, and Google's already been crawling the website, but now that Instagram's allowing Google to pull all of the videos and photos from Instagram and use them on Google, you now have the ability to either confuse more people or reach more people.
Mm.
So are you going to build trust or are you going to lose trust? And my goal for you guys would be that you would build trust.
Yeah. I think this also gives you an opening to, if you have a business account and it's only your business, that's great. But I think this also allows you to open a new account or pivot your personal account to make it a business account to start building your personal branding and thought leadership through that account so that you would have almost like 2 business accounts. Would that work?
Yeah. So what I actually think I'm probably going to do, because my account is pretty much shadow banned, and I've mentioned this before, like I've had that account for probably 12 years, probably going on 15 years at this point. And so the amount of different things that I've posted on that account has confused the algorithm, because when I first opened it, I was like, I don't know, 16 and posting pictures of me and my friends. And then I went to college. And so you're getting to like, so the algorithm's like, yeah, she's a kid and wants to share photos to that. And previously, you just saw the posts that like you were friends with. So the algorithms changed so much. So what I think I'm probably going to end up doing is deleting the account that I currently have, like Kelsey K. Downs, that has around 2,000 followers on it, and starting a new personal brand account, because I'm going to be able to leverage so much more reach, even though I have so much content on that previous page that builds up my expertise and my credibility. I can keep that one live, but not keep posting to it, just push everyone to a new page, which I know feels confusing. But when it comes down to it, like this account has basically been shadow banned, which means my content is not going out to the ideal audience that I want it to go to for my personal professional brand on Instagram. LinkedIn is fine, but for this one specifically, I really do need to delete the account and start it over, and then leverage the Stevie Social brand and the We Know Marketing brand under my personal brand. And so that's probably what I'm going to do if I can finally like take the step to actually do it. Because I think that's probably what's going to be best for my account and my reach when I look at the next 6 to 12 months, and really wanting to get in front of businesses like the ones I'm already working with. And so how do I do that? I use the same strategy that I'm using right now on an account that's not shadow banned.
Yeah.
And it's going to be pulling in the people that I actually want to work with and that actually find my content valuable. There's still people on this account that follow me from when I was in high school.
Yeah. Who great friends, but they're not going to hire you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And they don't really want them following the account, because it really does confuse the Instagram algorithm that like their potential, clients or something, because they're paying attention and they engage with my content. I actually don't really want that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, now I feel like I need to do this. So another thing is probably really look at what your bio is saying.
Yeah. So I actually posted something on LinkedIn this morning.
I know. Let's go through that, because you had some really great tactical things to do.
And then I think I ended it with saying, like, honestly, this isn't even going to be enough. You should just make sure to have a strategy. Because it's true. It's a big deal. This is definitely a bigger pivotal point for Instagram. So bio, make it clear what you do, who you serve, where you're located. Keywords will matter more now than they have previously. Your captions, treat them like mini blog posts. Use phrases your dream clients might actually be searching for on Google. Your reels and the subtitles. Spoken words are a part of your searchable footprint now. So don't just wing it. Script or structure your videos with intention. And then there's something called alt text. So you don't want to skip that. It's basically when you are uploading a video, you can add in like alternative text.
And that is actually like a inclusivity practice. So you should be doing that anyway.
Yeah, you should. Don't skip it. It's underrated, but it's also a way to make your post more searchable and inclusive. So yeah, it's not just going to be a visual app. It's now becoming like a discoverability tool, and people have already been using TikTok as a search engine tool, but now I think Google is just going to become more powerful, because it's going to be able to pull up all of the photos and videos that you have posted. And so if someone is searching in Oklahoma City for social media management services and their business is similar to some of the clients that I'm working with, and it's crawling my pages and realizing all of that information, it can then push my content to them because I'm actually there to help them. And that would be like a good match. And that's what the algorithm's trying to do is match you with someone who's going to be a good pairing based on what you're posting and what they are searching for. So we really can leverage this, and you have the potential to make more money off of just organic. I'm so curious how this will impact like paid ads and it might not at all, but yeah, it's a cool change. I'm glad they're doing it, but it also makes me a little bit scared for people that have professional accounts that have children, because now it's like all of that is going to be on Google. And I mean, it already was, because if your account's public, like anyone can access it, but there is a difference in what they've, done. Yeah. All public professional content will be indexed by Google. So let me give you guys the definition of index too.
So do what you want, but maybe if you have a professional account, that may be a place to ensure that you're not posting your children and not sharing their name on the internet. I'm a big proponent of not sharing your child's name anywhere. I think Kelsey and I have had multiple conversations about this. Yeah. But I'm just more wary of weirdos on the internet. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the definition of indexed, like just in plain terms, is if your content is indexed, it's findable. If it's not context, it's invisible. So crawling is when Google bots go out and discover your content, like a librarian checking out a new book. And indexing is when Google decides to shelve that book in the library, putting it in the system so people can find where they search when they search. So that might bring a little bit more clarity as to what's happening. And so if something's not being indexed, then it's not being put on that shelf so that people can find it. So if you are one of our clients, Factor, they're a CPA service that targets creative agencies. They want to be on the shelf of a CPA firm that targets creative agencies. And if they're just a CPA firm, they're in a very big sea of fish.
That's a big aisle, library aisle.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that's like 6 aisles of CPA firms. But because they niche down and the content that they're posting will then have them indexed into this really small shelf.
Like a bookend.
Yes, that says creative agents. Yeah, CPA for creative agencies. So the more specific you can be with that content and who you work with, the better Google can index your content.
The better it can match you to who you're trying to get discovered from.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So I also know that when you have a public business account on Instagram, you can also change your name to be your title. That's what I have.
Yeah.
So if you look up brand strategist, I can pop up as my name because that's what I have it in parentheses. So that may also be a thing that you can explore.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And so for your personal brand on Instagram, obviously your content's not going to be indexed if it's on a private account. And then if you're deleting content really quickly, Google won't have time to index it. So when I'm thinking about you being a brand strategist, and let's think about your personal Instagram account, you really do need an account where you're pretty much only talking about brand strategy.
Yeah.
And then you can have a fun account where you post like to your private friends, but that's probably a private account anyways with like your family, and your kiddo can be seen on that account. And I've kind of gotten away from, I do a lot of like close friend stuff, but there's nothing wrong with showing behind the scenes of your life either. But you want to be careful with how much you're doing that, because if it's getting indexed, then it's like, if you're doing a reel, like you're obviously a mom, but you're a brand strategist. And if you're doing a reel on like your favorite back to school water bottles for your son, Google will index that, but that's not going to align with what you're actually trying to accomplish on Instagram. So that's the importance of the content pillars, the keywords, and we do all of that in your social media strategy build out. And that is like a one-time thing. Like you pay for it and then we revisit it every 6 months, but that's not like you coming on as like a client. You can take this social media strategy and then implement it yourself. But if you're a business and you're on this platform, and you're not operating from a strategy,
this can actually harm you more than it can help you.
Yeah.
Is kind of what Kelsey's trying to tell
and
you.
you're going to hate the algorithm more. Because that's what I see a lot is like a lot of people post online that they hate the algorithm and all this stuff, but it's because they're not posting the right types of content or they're not posting anything valuable. They might even be saying the right keywords, but it has no entertainment factor, no engagement, and it's boring and it doesn't have any value. So there's different levels. That's why the strategy matters so much. It's not just about keywords. It's not just about content pillars. Like you have to be able to mesh this bundle of things of like you as the expert, your personality, keywords and content pillars and the people that you're working with. Like it all meshes into this big thing. And then from there, we brainstorm the content that's going to be posted.
Yeah.
And if it's not hitting on all those things, then it's not authentic to who you are, or it's lacking something that is going to cause it to not be relevant because there's no value in it. So
yeah. So it sounds like you need to narrow down on your social media. So like what are the pillars that you're talking about? And understand that strategy, figure out who your ideal client is, talk to them, and don't just make boring stuff.
Right.
Essentially. If you're trying to do this on your own.
Yeah, if you're trying to do it without a strategy, that's definitely a good starting point. And like I'm even thinking right now about how I'm going to be training my team on implementing this because we have, the creative lead that's helping with brainstorming and putting together shot list and scripts. So that's going to be really, really important that we have these list of keywords written out. And obviously we already have their content pillars, but I think we need to even go even deeper for some of our clients. And I want to train our copywriter on that. And I want to train the brainstorm person on that. I want to train our video editor on that. Like this is this is a full piece of comprehensive content that every person that touches it needs to be trained on what it means to have Google index, one of our posts now, because we've been able to stay away from, we're not the SEO experts. We've only really been tapped into organic social. And I've really learned the algorithms with that and how they change. And I've stayed up to date with that, but this is a pretty big game changer.
Yeah. I'll be excited to see what it also does when it like connects to AI and all that to see, just how there's just way more ways to get discovered now.
Yeah.
So being hyper intentional about how you're showing up, it should all be.
And AI can help.
Yeah. It should all be the same across the board. You should not be talking about one thing here, one thing over here, and one thing over here, because then it'll look like the same person is schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So really having that aligned strategy.
You'll not reach anyone.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want for you.
No. So that's a big deal.
For sure.
And if you have questions,
now more than ever, you guys need a social media strategy.
Yeah. So if you have questions, talk to Kelsey, not me.
Yeah. And I mean, and think about like, even before you come to me for social media strategy, like you have to have, it goes brand strategy, and then we can pull in and do marketing strategy and social media strategy. You have to have a brand. Like the brand is
and the brand
business.
is not the logo. And if I have to say that one more time, I mean, brand is not the logo. You have to understand like the whole encompassing part of your business.
Yes. A brand guide is not a brand strategy either. So if you really want to be successful and you really want to see long-term sustained business growth, you're going to need a brand strategy, and then you're going to need a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And social is going to be one piece of that marketing strategy.
But a huge piece.
Huge piece.
With how fast social media is growing and continues to grow.
Yes. And it's a great place to start too. If you're not doing marketing in all the other areas, like social media is a great place to start. And it is something you can implement yourself once you have an expert build out the strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then circle back to it. So those are the main things. I like the visual of the library.
Yeah. So go double check your account. And if things are not connecting, then book a call with Kelsey.
Yeah. And just know that I'm doing the same thing that you're doing right now. Like I'm going to go sit down and really ponder, what does this look like for the content we've been putting out for Stevie, and what does this look like for the content I've been putting out on the Kelsey Downs page and deleting that account, creating the new account. What are the main things I want to focus on as I look for the next 6 to 12 months? Like, you don't have to break it down like for the next 5 years, but for the next 6 to 12 months, what is my goal? And I think I already know, like, I want to do strategy more than I want to do anything else. And I have my team that can execute the strategies really well, but I really, really want to help small businesses in general with strategy. And so what do I need to post on my pages? What videos do I need to do? What alt text and main keywords I need to stick to, phrases? And then how do I still sound like me when implementing those SEO keywords? Because we've all been on those websites where it's so SEO heavy that you're like, who wrote this? Is this a human being?
For me, it's like, what does this even say? I don't know.
Or what does this even say? Exactly. So it's like, you don't want to go so hard that the bots understand and crawl it and you're being indexed really high on Google, but the person that's Googling you and finding you through the search can't read your website because they're not going to buy.
Yeah.
And same with social. So you have to be careful. And you have to toe a lot of lines in this world. And that's why more and more I just say you need to trust the experts. And I do it too. Like, I have to trust the experts too, because there's certain things I want to try to do myself. And I'm like, no, I just need to hire someone to do this.
Kind of like with all this setup.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. With the podcast stuff, like, we're not the experts in podcast. So even getting a few episodes recorded can feel very
daunting.
hard. Very, very hard. But I think that's all I got, unless you have any other questions about it or.
No, I think you covered it. I think people just need to be aware that this is what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not one of the flimsy Instagram updates with whatever. Making sure that your bio is all the same, that your content pillars are in line with your brand, and take your children off the internet.
Yeah. That one, I probably didn't even need to add that in, but it did. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Private,
like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, just as moms are both aware of it, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have any questions,
hit up Kelsey.
And I'm sure this will like play out differently, and
I'll be very
results
curious,
of it, and like how it changes. And there's probably stuff in it, in the articles that I even read about it, that I didn't fully understand. So you guys will have to give me grace too. Like, I'm pulling my expertise into it, but this is something that's really new and developing. And so
I'll be very curious to see when Threads becomes part of that, because on Threads I am just
unhinged.
I'm unhinged on Threads, so
it probably is a part of it.
I'm sure it is.
Instagram does own Threads, so we'll see.
So right now is the time to be more intentional with how you're posting on Instagram, and probably anything Meta.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it goes back to everything we keep saying. Like, you need to be running your company strategically. You just do. Like, any of your marketing that you're doing, any of your brand, it needs to be run strategically. Otherwise, you're diluting and losing trust, and we don't want that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Come back and see us.
Bye. And that's a wrap on this episode of We Know Marketing, we promise. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your business bestie. Want more? Follow us for updates, behind the scenes, and plenty of marketing gems.